Number 5. The Forgotten Elevator. An old, rusty elevator suddenly appeared in the middle of a park one day. People were scared to go near it, but some curious individuals stepped inside anyway. They pressed the button to go up, and when the doors opened, they found themselves in a version of their apartment building from another dimension. Everything was exactly the same, except there was no one else in sight. They found their doppelgangers sitting on their sofas, eating their cereal, just living their lives. But after 5 minutes, the elevator returned them back to the park, and no one was ever seen entering it again. It's believed the elevator only takes you to parallel versions of your life, where you made different decisions that led you to this alternate reality. And the elevator only gives you 5 minutes there, because it doesn't want you to change your life for the better or worse. But if you stayed any longer, you would start to forget who you are and what your life is like back in your own dimension. Number 4. The Man in the Mirror. A young woman got in an elevator with a man who seemed nice at first, but then he started staring at her the whole time she was in the elevator. When she got off, she turned around to see what he was looking at and screamed. It was her reflection, but it wasn't her face staring back at her. It was the face of the man in the elevator. He had gotten out on her floor and was now standing behind her, breathing down her neck. No. 3. The Hitchhiker. A young man was taking an elevator down to the lobby of his apartment building when a blood-covered hitchhiker got in. She looked at him and said, "You wouldn't happen to have a spare jacket, would you?" Startled, the man quickly realized the woman's bloodied meat cleaver was resting on his leg. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. The woman leaned in close and whispered, "Don't worry, you won't be needing this leg of yours anymore." Then the lights went out, and the man felt the sharp sting of the meat cleaver as it sliced through his skin. No. 2. The Surveillance Footage. A man was watching surveillance footage of an elevator in his apartment building when he noticed a strange woman who had been staying in the building. For weeks, he had seen her come and go, always alone. In the footage, he watched as she entered the elevator and pressed the button for the top floor. As the doors opened, a man stepped out and beckoned her to come with him. She did, and they both disappeared. The screen went black, and the man was never seen again. Number 1. The Ghost Lift. A group of friends was exploring an abandoned amusement park when they came across a dilapidated elevator shaft. They decided to see how far they could go up when suddenly the doors opened and they were met with a horrifying sight. Inside was a ghost who beckoned with a finger for them to come inside. One by one, each friend decided to enter the ghost lift, and when the doors closed, they were all pulled into a vortex and vanished into thin air. Every day on her way to work, Maya rode the elevator down to the lobby of her apartment building. Every day it stopped at the 6th floor, and every day the door opened to an empty hallway. But today was different. Today, when the elevator doors slid open, she found a man standing there with a suitcase. "Can I help you?" Maya asked, confused by his presence on a floor that had no apartments. "You live here," the man said, gesturing to the door with a smile. "I'm your new neighbor." "But this is the 6th floor," Maya said, bewildered. "There's no one here." The man shrugged. "That's what I thought until just now." Curious, Maya stepped into the elevator and pressed the button for the ground floor. As the elevator descended, she couldn't shake off the eerie feeling that something wasn't right. When the doors opened, instead of the bright lights of the lobby, she was met with pitch black. The power was out. As she stepped out, she heard a voice behind her say, "Didn't think you'd be coming down so soon, did you?" Maya turned around, her heart racing, and saw the man from the 6th floor standing there, a twisted smile on his face. He stepped closer, and she could see that he was tall and muscular, with sharp features and eyes that glinted dangerously in the darkness. "Who are you?" Maya whispered, taking a step back. "Your new neighbor," he said, his voice a low growl. "And you don't remember me, do you? You must have known me in another life." "I don't know you," Maya said, shaking her head. The man chuckled, a harsh, grating sound that echoed in the silent lobby. "Of course you do. We've met before, haven't we?" He took another step closer. "I know your name is Maya." "How do you know my name?" Maya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The man leaned in close, his hot breath on her neck. "Because I've been waiting for you," he said. "Waiting for you to come home." Panic surged through Maya. She pushed the man away from her, stumbling backward. "What do you want from me?" "Just to say hello to my favorite neighbor," the man said, his eyes gleaming. "But maybe I want more than that." He reached out, his hand closing around her wrist. Maya cried out, pulling her hand away from him. She turned and ran, her mind screaming at her to get away from this madman. As she ran, she could hear him behind her, his footsteps echoing on the stairs. She didn't dare look back. She didn't want to see the twisted grin on his face or the predatory gleam in his eyes. She just kept running, her heart pounding in her chest, her breath catching in her throat. Finally, she burst through the front door and stumbled onto the street, gasping for air. She looked back at the building, her heart still pounding in her chest. The elevator had stopped at the first floor, and the man was gone. From that day on, Maya never rode the elevator alone. She always made sure to press the button for the ground floor and wait for someone else to join her. She never went down to the lobby after dark, and she never looked back. Because in the depths of her heart, she knew that if she did, she would see that twisted smile on his face, and she would hear the echo of his voice saying, "We've met before, haven't we?" And she knew that if she looked back, she wouldn't be able to run away again. One day, a new family moved into the sixth-floor apartment. They were a young couple with a baby, and they were excited to finally have a place of their own. As the elevator doors opened on the sixth floor, the man carrying the baby looked around, confused. "There's no one here," he said, looking at his wife. "I thought we were meeting our neighbor." His wife shrugged. "Maybe they're hiding. I'll knock on the door across the hall then." The husband watched as she stepped out of the elevator and closed the door behind her. He felt a chill run down his spine, even though the air was warm. "This place gives me the creeps," he said, taking a step back. Just then, the elevator lurched upward, and he pressed the button for the second floor. As the doors slid shut, he heard a faint scratching sound from behind them. He paused, listening intently. Then it happened again. Someone, or something, was trying to get out of the elevator shaft. The scratching grew louder. The man clutched the baby tighter as the elevator creaked to a stop on the second floor. But the doors didn't open. Instead, the lights above flickered, then went out, plunging them into darkness. From beneath them came a low, dragging sound, like nails on metal. He fumbled for the emergency button, pressing it over and over. Nothing. The baby whimpered. Then, a whisper. Right in his ear. "I've been waiting for you too." He turned around, but there was no one there. Just him, the baby, and a faint, warped reflection in the elevator's mirrored wall. A face that wasn't his. Grinning. The doors creaked open, not on the second floor but the sixth. And the hallway was no longer empty.